What is happening, my people? We are live, as they like to say. People don't understand that, I don't think. I don't think people understand what live is. But we're definitely live. How you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Okay.
We making
Yeah,
it
man. It's
through. Quarantine life, you know.
oh man, got a little sun today. Wasn't very warm, but the sun was shining, so I guess that's a start, you know.
That is something. That
It's
is
funny,
definitely.
42 degrees and sun's look you look from the inside, it looks like it's about 90 and you go
Mm,
out and it's 42, but it's still nice though, you know.
right. All right. Well, we'll get started. We don't have. I want us to have enough time. And I said we would start at 7. You know, teach people to be on time.
All
We
right.
don't play
Yeah.
no games. So give me 1 second. Let's get it started. Yo, welcome back to the Zone Media, where we just have information, collaboration, motivation, and inspiration. Y'all know we here for y'all. This is all about we. This ain't about me. My name is A. Jones. I'm your host, and y'all know how we rock. Today is Monday. So let's talk with Robert Vaughn. And today we got Let's Talk Data Analytics. I'm super pumped because we had a little conversation briefly earlier today about it, and he was spitting some gems, and I'm excited for y'all to tap in and get y'all gems. So make sure you share this. Tell your mama's mama to join in with us tonight, because this is going to be good.
Yep. Okay. Again, it's Robert Vaughn here. We're going to be talking a little bit today about data analytics and also about best practices. And the two sort of go together.
Mm,
So it's good. We'll just kind of highlight best practices real quick. I'm sure most people know what best practices are, but we'll just kind of go over that real quick. Well, best practices can be defined as looking at the different ways that something is done and finding out the best way to do it. You know, for
mm.
instance, if Azaria is great, you know, let's say he markets his music a certain way,
I'm okay with it.
you know, and I market mine a different way. Well, if the way that he markets his is better than the way that I market mine, then I should do it like he does, you know, and let the
Mm,
ego stay out of it and do the best way to achieve the goal.
yeah,
Um, you know, and what you'll find is that when you the more you collaborate and the more you network with people, you'll find that certain people do things better than you do,
mm,
and you do things better than certain other people. So if you collaborate with 7 or 8 people and each one of them does something better, then each one of you should be doing it the way that somebody else that does it better does. And so that's
right.
what best practices are. And whether you're running a you're in a company, you're doing music, you're producing or whatever, you want to use best practices and you want to find the best way to do something, and that's what you want to do. Um, because a lot of times it's all the little things that come together that determine, you know, if you're a successful artist or if you're a successful producer or if you're successful at whatever, you know, and the more you can, um, you know, bring all the best ways of doing different things together, the more success you'll have. Also, I would mention too, you know, when it comes to best practices, you know, collaboration, networking, and research. Always do research because you know if you want to find, you know, what's the best way to is TikTok any good? You know what I'm saying? So you can look and say, hey, you know, how effective is TikTok in terms of getting music out front? And you will find articles and you will find artists that have used TikTok to be very successful. And you may find some artists that use other things. And then you want to say, well, how do they use, for instance, TikTok to get the most bang for their buck, or to be most successful? And you'll get some answers to that also. So just keep in mind best practices, collaboration, networking, and research, which sort of brings us to our next subject, which is data analytics. The thing about data analytics is that data is what really happened and what's really going on. It's not what somebody thought. A lot of times people will they will say, I think I think we should do this. I think we should do that. Um, I just got a feeling that this is what happened. Well, data is sort of the truth of what really happens, and what really is happening, and it represents the truth. For instance, I know I used to at one time I was a production manager at General Motors, and every time something went wrong, you'd say, well, why did these parts not get produced correctly? And you'll have 20 people telling you 20 different reasons that they think that happened. I used to have a sign in my office and it said, "In God we trust, all others bring data," because we don't want to know what people think happened. We have to know, we have to investigate and find out what really happened. So data analytics is what really happened, and data analytics is part of everyday life. It's for instance, if you let me just give you tell you a little bit what data analytics is described as. It's the science of analyzing raw data in order to make conclusions, in order to optimize processes to increase the overall efficiency of a business or system. And data analytics uses different algorithms, and algorithms are no more than a set of instructions designed to perform a specific task. It can be such as multiplying two numbers or a more complex one, in programming. But data analytics is used to construct algorithms. So, for instance, if you say, well, at a certain period of time, a certain type of music was really popular, and those songs tend to sell more, or they sold more at that particular time. And that's why a lot of music sometimes you say, wow, it all sounds the same. Well, the reason it sounds the same is because a lot of the sounds are sounds that people have found that consumers like. The people that buy music and consume music, that's what they like. And you have different tastes. This song may be popular now. This song may be popular. And people have different tastes. And data analytics is able to break down all the different um, individual um, values or things within a song or within a career that can make that person successful or make a song a hit or not. For instance, social media, I'm sure we're all aware, uses data analytics all the time. Um, Facebook, Google, they all do it. Instagram, they collect information. When you go on Facebook, you go here, you go there, you upload photos. They collect thousands and thousands of data points.
Mm,
They look at data points such as, what did you post after you saw this article? How did
hmm.
you respond to this survey? Well, when you were with your kids, um, how did the muscles in your face move?
Right,
They
right,
collect tens of millions of data points. And what they can do is they can predict, um, how somebody's going to react.
right.
For instance, I'll tell you one of an experiment that Google did was everybody thought it was a game. It was
Mm,
Pokemon Go. And Pokemon Go, what they did was they used data to actually influence where people would go. And
right.
the purpose of that is so they could deliver uh, someone to a retail outlet. So Pokemon Go was used to develop um, the things that should be said, the things that should be, the feelings that should be created to make a person go to a specific place. It
Mm-hmm.
actually was called, it was a program called Footfall, where they took it one step further, and rather than making someone predisposed to buy your product, they said, Google said, well, we've developed a way where we can actually make a Zaria show up to your store. And we also know that it's Friday, he gets paid, and his wife's birthday is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And she happens to have looked at this black leather jacket, and we can deliver Zaria to your door. And by the way, before he gets there, we'll send him a coupon for 60% off the leather jacket.
Wow.
So see what else you can sell him. So this is what data can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Spotify is probably one of the best at using data because Spotify has so many different data points. They have over 100 million songs, more than anybody else.
Mm.
So they can tell by what you listen to what you might want to listen to.
Right.
For instance, if, Azaria likes songs with 808s in it, and he likes a 4/4 beat, and most of the songs that he goes to on Spotify have that particular signature, then they can find a different artist that uses an 808 with a 4/4 beat. And
Right.
chances are he'll like that too. So what they can do, they can market not only that artist to his area, but the artist's music. So it's data analytics is used to be predictive. It's used to predict
Mm-hmm.
behavior and help steer behavior in a certain way. For instance, Shazam, one of the strongest indicators of whether a song is going to be a hit is if a lot of people Shazam a song. And the reason that is because when you Shazam a song, you have to go through a 3 or 4 step operation. You have to take your phone out, you have to go to Shazam, you have to Shazam it, and you have to hold it up to the speaker. Now, a person that is that interested in a song is really likes that song. And I say, I really want to know who this is. Well, what Shazam found out is that if certain people start Shazamming songs more than other songs, those songs start moving up the charts, even though it may not be a very popular song at the time.
Mm.
But what they found is that when the, the rate of Shazamming a song increases, that song's going to be a hit. So, if people go through the different steps to Shazam a song, that
Yeah.
song's probably going to be a hit. Okay,
Right.
and it's a strong signal, and what it means is there's a connection with certain people with that song,
Mm. That makes
and
sense.
yeah, and what you can do from there then says that Shazam can, through somebody else recommend different songs,
Mm.
because people may know it, they may not know it, but Shazam was acquired by Apple in 2018. And about the same time, Apple Music started taking off because they kind of know, what you like, and they know what you might like.
Right. Yeah.
So they're able to market to you, what you like and what you might like. Also, I just want to say a little bit about um, there's another company called Next Big Sound.
You said
Next
next
Big
big sound.
Yeah, Next Big Sound was acquired by Pandora about 4 years ago. And what Next Big Sound does is they develop algorithms to tell if a song's going to be a hit or not.
Mm.
And they're pretty good at it. For instance, they use information from Pandora, obviously, because Pandora bought them, but they use all social media indicators and that, in reference to music to find out how a group of people feel about a certain song.
Right.
Data analytics is, music is still good. Music is still the number one way to sell records, but data analytics sort of gives you a leg up in the game if you
Mm.
understand and you use it. Well, for instance, Instagram has a lot of different algorithms or data points. Just as an example, number of photos posted, types of photos, the comments that people make,
He's dropping the
how many
gems.
likes, how many hearts, and they can tell, which metrics are strong leading indicators of your sales.
Hmm.
So, a data analytics can predict who's going to sell records before they actually sell them
Right.
because they've sort of reverse engineered or backwards engineered. They looked at the people who were stars and say, well, what did Rihanna, how did she progress from point A to point B? You
Mm.
know, and they look at what she did and how she progressed. For instance, I'll give you a good example. There's a gentleman you probably heard of, Khalid.
Hmm.
And one thing that data analytics companies can do is they can present you with a set of data points based on your social media that can tell you who's going to be a big star
Right.
before they actually are.
Wow.
And that's pretty amazing. But what you can do with that information is you can go get money. You can borrow money from the bank, or you can go to a label and get money.
Mm.
And they say, well, why should we give you money? Because my Shazam is going off the charts. Here's another set of data points. And they can look at that and tell that you're going to be a big star. And that's what they did with Khalid. They knew he was going to be a big star before he was,
Hmm.
because
Right.
they knew how his music was vibing, where it was vibing with, who it was vibing with. He had serious crossover appeal, which they look at, and they could project. They say, hey, you know what? Give this guy a couple $1,000,000. We'll get him with a label, and he's going to be a big star.
Right.
And they say, where's the proof? Here's the proof in the data analytics, because the same data analytics, and I tell you who else they used it for: Megan Thee Stallion, and also for Lizzo. All three of them were broken the same way with data analytics before they became stars.
That's good.
Uh, they somebody knew that they were going to be stars
Right.
based upon the analysis of their social media activity and various other factors.
Mm.
So one of the I'll just mention this too. One of the right now, one of the main platforms to accumulate data and do projections. The labels use TikTok a lot,
Mm.
and I don't know why, but for some reason, TikTok has a strong correlation with not just record sales, but also success. And a lot of people that have moved up and are really moving up are using TikTok.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you look at Drake's new record, Tootsie Slide or something like that. It
mhm.
literally it wasn't in number one until it went viral on TikTok. Then it went crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. I mean, and it's because people are like they have low attention spans, and they may not want to see the whole video.
Right.
They may just want to see. Well, I'm going to see what Zaria does. Just I'm going to hear a couple hooks that he does. He said,
Hmm.
"Oh yeah, those are dope, man. We can get this record then, or we'll go check him out on the social media, and we'll go to a show if he's in town." But TikTok is one to watch, and I will tell you something that we had mentioned before. There's one licensing agency that handles TikTok.
So there's one.
Music Reports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, music. Amazon Music handles TikTok, and Music Reports has an exclusive with Amazon Digital, Amazon Music.
Mm.
So if you want to get paid from TikTok, you got to go through Amazon and Music Reports.
Mm.
Now, a lot of times people don't necessarily try to make money with streaming services. What they want to do is raise their profile. So it's and you can make the case that eventually will make you a lot of money if your profile's high enough.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, so they what they do, what data does is it basically identifies artists who are emerging artists at the early stages.
Mm.
So if Azaria is emerging, if he's an emerging artist, they can say, well, you know what, based upon our data, this is where you should put your money.
Mm.
And obviously the labels and the banks listen
Right.
because that's where they put their money. So they've done their own analysis, and it basically is for artists if they have pretty good engagement on social media, and what it does, it lets the label or the manager know where the weaknesses are, so they can kind of focus there. Maybe Azaria's music is really vibing in the UK, but he's good on IG. He's good on just a lot of YouTube views, but Spotify's not that hot.
Mm.
Well, in the UK, Spotify is everything, or a lot of it. As a matter of fact, most labels, you know, when they turn in recommendations, ARs turn in recommendations in the UK. They usually want a Shazam report and a Spotify report along with the recommendation.
Right.
So that would be a case where they say, well, here's an opportunity for him to really improve, and this is where we need to focus. So his IG is great over there. His TikTok is great, but Spotify, in Europe, particularly UK, is really big. So that's where we need to focus. So what it does, it besides identifying artists through data analytics, it also uh, helps raise early funding. And a lot of times, in a career of an artist, the hardest part is getting that initial money when everything's going good to kind of get you off the ground.
Right.
And data, analytics can be helpful in doing that. And if you think about the last three, Khalid, Megan Thee Stallion, and Lizzo, I mean, that's proof enough to me. you
Right.
know? So
Some of the biggest artists.
yeah. So and like I say, it's it can get you know companies like Spotify, TikTok, they really deep dive into data analytics. You can you know uh, have certain qualities about certain songs, and about certain musicians, and an individual may be predisposed to like another musician that has that same set of qualities. Because a lot of it's come. I was just reading the other day that a lot of Katy Perry's fans. There's two other artists that they really like a lot.
Mm.
That's Beyonce and who was the other one? Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So if her fans like Beyonce and like Taylor Swift, the Taylor Swift fans probably like Katy Perry and Beyonce's fans.
Right.
So if they weren't already mega superstars, I mean, maybe with that information, you could say, well, hey, why don't Beyonce? Why don't we get Taylor on your song?
Mm.
And then you get Katy Perry's fans, Beyonce's fans, and Taylor Swift's fans.
State analytics.
Yes, so so it tells you a lot, and it's data analytics are here to stay. It's just a way of predicting, and the reason they like to project who's gonna be good or who might be good is because it takes a lot of money. It
Hmm.
takes. I think somebody told me the other day to break an artist. This is between $2 and $4 million
Wow.
to do all the promotion, do all things that need to be done. So when you're spending that kind of money, you want to get the most bang for your buck, and you want to go with something that you feel can be successful, and have some sort of analysis to back that up.
Right.
So that's data analytics in 20 minutes. Of course, there's a lot more to it, but those are the basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just might mention too, um, everyone that's on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, always take a look at your analytics. because even though they're very basic, they still kind of tell you, I like YouTube because YouTube is visual and it tells you who's looking at your videos, where they live, how old they are, if they're male or female, what country they're from. You can even what city they're from.
Mm-hmm.
How long do they watch? Because with Spotify and a lot of streaming services, if you don't look at something for 30 seconds, you don't get credit for it.
Right.
So people could watch, 80 million people could watch your song on Spotify. If they only watch for 20 seconds, you don't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
So for it to count in terms of generating revenue and also in terms of developing some data, they like to see 30 seconds.
Right.
And what they found is that if someone watches for 30 seconds, they're probably going to watch for a minute and 40 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
which means that they kind of like the video and like you.
It kind of like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So check out, YouTube, Facebook. They all have analytics that you can Instagram, TikTok, that you can go in and look at and see. It's not just who saw it and who likes you, but it's who didn't see it. Say, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, you have an artist who, a female artist, and teeny boppers like her from 12 to 18, say, you know,
Yeah.
girls. Well, that means that girls 18 and over and guys of all ages are not really listening to her.
Right.
So that's where a lot of your growth is going to come in. So for you to really grow your audience, you got to reach the people that you're not reaching. Of course, you take care of your base, your fan base, but you try to increase, and extend your brand to people that aren't tuning in.
Right.
And that's another thing that data and analysis can tell you. So,
Wow.
well, that's
That's
my
good.
story. I'm sticking with it.
Man, this was good. If you need some more information, you want to dive deeper, definitely hit up Robert Vaughn. He got the juice. That's what I'm saying. He got the juice. Um, Definitely, if you need his contact, just share with the people how they can find you, where they can contact you at. Just your information.
Russell ENT Group at gmail.com.
Yeah, I heard it. Russell ENT Group at gmail.com. Make sure you hit him up.
Mm-hmm.
If you are interested in the I see people interested in the music review. Just a quick shout out. We got William Bryant in here. Shout out to our artist spotlight of the week. He'll be on later this week, just sharing some songs. He don't even know that I just shared that, and I just told him he is. We got DJ Focus from the Fix Radio Show in here. Their show happens on Saturday. Make sure you shout out to them. Tony Dior, shout out to you, one of my moderators on Twitch. We got Nikki Love on Facebook. So we got some people out here. I just seeing some people in and out. Thank y'all for joining. If you're interested in the music review and feedback, we're definitely doing that on Sunday at 7 p.m. So make sure you send your music to the Zone Media at gmail.com and we'll definitely review it. It'll be myself, and I'll have some friends on there with me and we'll just have a good time. Um, I don't know, Robert, what you got left to say?
Well, I just data is something you wanna pay attention to, and I think you wanna take advantage of it. The music business is changing. It's changing like really fast. Every year, things are done a little bit different, and in order to be successful, you have to kind of like ride the wave. You can't
Mm,
you can't surf after the wave has gone by.
right.
You got to be a little bit in front or right with the wave. And
Mm-hmm.
data analytics is a wave that's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Just to give you another example, real quick, um, Billboard. When you look at Billboard charts are sort of basic data analytics. The top person on Billboard sold the most records. Number two sold the second most, and so on.
Mm,
Before Billboard used to start using data, sales data, they would go to record labels and DJs and say, "Hey, who's hot? Who's hot?" And they say, "Oh, this man, you got this rock group here and this group, blah blah blah," and all the DJs and the labels from all over would send all this information to Billboard, and they'd say, "This is who's hot." Well, in 1991, what Billboard did, they said, "You know what? This is not working. We're going to go to who sold the most records, and that tells us really who's hot. Who sold the most records this week, and R&B will be the number one R&B, and so on." Well, what
Mm-hmm.
happened was up until 91, um, hip hop and country hadn't really gone mainstream. But what they found out is that the most records being sold and the most popular artists
Yeah.
were hip hop and country, and it wasn't rock and roll anymore. You know? So that's just a case of using data, record sales data can kind of tell you what's really happening and not what we think happened. So
Right.
that's important. So
That's good. Well, definitely stay locked in. We got some great shows coming up this week. Just a quick update. Wednesday, we got management with Mike Chancey. Tomorrow will be a live cook up. I don't know who's going to be on there. Pizza Party should be, but if he's not, I will take the reins. He's definitely trying to, but his girlfriend is pregnant, so we're definitely happy for him and those. Um, they're having a baby. Um, Thursday we got definitely some dope stuff happening on Thursday. So we definitely got the HLF pod. Oh, Wednesday we got management with Mike Chancey's talking about branding. Thursday we got the HLF podcast recording, and then right immediately following that at 9 p.m. We got In the Mix with Shy Hits. And then on Friday, we always pull out the artist and producer spotlight. And we have one of your artists, if I'm not mistaken, somebody you work with, Versi Jean. Is that correct?
right, that's correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's Northwest in Portland, and she's neo soul, and starting to make a lot of waves out there. And I thought it might be good if people got a chance to hear her.
That's good. So definitely go check out Versi Jean before Friday, just to get yourself well versed with her music and everything. I heard some of her stuff. I'm excited to just have her on the show and listen to some of the music that she has in the pipeline and just hear her story. Y'all know what we do. This is what we are about. We're about collaboration, motivation, inspiration, and information. This is where we at. We at the Zone Media. So thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to always collaborate, because collaboration thrives creativity, and always, 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 always create, because you're created by the creator. We out.